Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a new video, well, kind of new video from PopCross Studios that he calls Across the Godzilla-verse. Let's hop in and see how he turns these different Godzillas into brand new monsters.
1 month ago, I did the first PopCross Design Challenge, where you take a base type of character, like Spider-Man characters or Ben 10 characters, and fuse them with 2 or 3 or more other kinds of characters that are unrelated out of pop culture that you really like the designs of, and try to make the coolest thing that you possibly can with that.
Nice.
I also sent out a call to my subscribers to do their own version of this and send them in. And in part of today's video, I'll be showing off the stuff that was sent to me, as well as giving out prizes like PopCross Studios hoodies to some of my favorite submissions.
That's nice.
But on top of that, for the art that I'll be making in this episode, I'm doing another PopCross design challenge, but this time with Godzilla. Though I won't actually be picking the different characters that I'm fusing with these Godzillas myself. I've enlisted some help from both the awesome art channels Dempsey J Illustrations and Caitlin McKeague.
Oh,
if you
that's
haven't heard of
nice.
before, I highly recommend checking out their stuff, or checking it out again if you have heard of them, because on top of all of this, I have given them characters to do fusions with as well, and they'll be releasing their own fusion videos at the same time as this one, which I'll have linked in the description and the pinned comment. So let's start this off by seeing what characters they gave me to work with first, shall we? Let's go. Hit like
if you feel like it.
Subscribe
if you want.
Feel like. But either way,
enjoy the show.
Okay, so first off, John is going to give me a character to work with. I'm very excited to see what you got for me.
I guess I didn't need to move over so fast right now, but okay.
Retro of this, and I've got the big Slamu from Street Sharks.
Oh,
Going old school on this one, so something really old school.
Oh yeah, definitely old school.
So now, Caitlin, what character have you got for me to work with?
So
Okay,
I
there we
love
go.
Ghibli franchises. That's like some of my favorite movies. But I got you the Ohm from Nazca and the Valley of the Wind. They're just cool, and like the plating on them is really awesome. And I love their weird giant spherical eyes. I just thought this would be a really fun one to combine with like any of the Godzillas.
Hey Harold, you got a minute?
Okay, here
Champagne
we
and I
go.
got a multiverse question for you.
Perfect.
Well, sure thing, Benny boy. I've been to dang near half the universes out.
What the? Oh, I like this guy.
There, what you got for me? Was seriously asking the guy who murders kids about this first, Benny? Oh, you're still hung up on that, Dr. Champagne. If it makes you feel better, I ain't killed no kids in at least a year or something. A year? What kids did you kill a year ago? Alright, calm down. Harold Dunn did a lot of deplorable stuff in his day, but he's our prisoner now, and he ain't killing kids no more, and he's still the most likely to know about some big friendly Godzillas we could bring back to Heath's world to take out some of the toughest kaiju that stomp around smashing stuff there.
Yeah, I guess he's
Oh,
right.
y'all are looking for Godzillas, huh? Well, it's been a month of Sunday since I last seen one, but I reckon I did see a few in my day. Said you were looking for a friendly one? Yeah, figured we could give one to Heath for his birthday since his world is overrun with giant monsters that he's always having to fight.
Oh,
I mean, his birthday
that'd be
ain't until
nice.
the end of March, which makes a lot of sense because he's an Aries if I ever did meet one. But no shame in getting a head start on this now, huh? Wait, that's the plan? You want to steal a bleeding giant protective monster from another world to give Heath for his birthday? Yeah, you knew that was the plan. We talked about this. No, we bleatin' didn't. All I said was I wonder how many Godzillas is out there in the multiverse, and you ran off saying we should ask folks if they've seen anyone they were traveling to other dimensions.
And here we go.
Yeah, right. I guess that's true. But I was thinking it, and I just figured you was thinking it too. Anyway, Harry boy, what do you got for us? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the Big Zilla from Dimension K784. It's said in that world that the big guy used to be the youngest of 4 big old beasties just like it. But the other 3 were killed off in some giant kaiju war centuries before, then this one went dormant for a good long time. But when humanity got well past the industrial age and started tearing down too much of the natural world, the Big Zilla was woken up in a real hissy about what humanity was up to. Came out swinging and smashing buildings, breathing its crazy atomic hydro rays, and being right tough to kill since its back is plated up like a 20-ton tank.
Damn.
Plus, the thing can swim through stone, believe it or not, so anytime they sent some big old bombs after it, it would just die.
You know, now I think I understand why they were called street sharks. They could literally swim in the street. Hey, don't get mad at me. I never watched the show. I never even heard of it till now.
Into the earth and swim to safety.
Maybe.
Alright, so what
I
changed
don't
and
know.
got this thing being all buddy-buddy with human folks? Well, you see, Ohmzilla waking up got all the other kaiju rustling too. They started popping up like daisies and destroying even more cities than Ohmzilla done been doing. And Ohmzilla wasn't really against humans, it just wanted them to stop taking so much advantage of the Earth. So when the other
Yeah, slow
kaiju
the hell
started
down.
stomping out too many folks, this thing took a real heel turn and started fighting back against them instead. Well, that sounds like pretty standard Godzilla stuff, to be honest. But if this thing has got other kaiju to deal with in its own world, we can't just take it from there and put it in another world, Benny. Its own dimension would get obliterated. Well, hold your horses there, Dr. Champagne, because this world does actually have other friendly kaiju running around too. There's this set of 4 other gigantic turtle kaiju that are apparently even older and tougher than the big Ohmzilla. And they also been fighting back against the not-so-friendly beasties. Real agile critters for their size too, so folks started calling them the Ninja Maras. And since they never went on a
Ninja
human-killing rampage
Okay.
like the Ohmzilla, lots of folks like the Ninja Maras more. They got them on lunchboxes and got TV shows about them. But I kinda got a soft spot for the big Ohmzilla. Ain't its fault it was right cross with humans. Yeah, I was always a Street Shocks kid too. The toys were way more interesting. What's that, Sham? Nothing. It's weird multiverse
Shocks?
stuff. I don't want to explain it.
Alright, well, starting off with kind of a... Okay, it's not my favorite, but it's still pretty good. And next!
So this character is Apton from
Ooh.
the Guyver series, and this
Ooh.
is his like final form from the comics. I think you quite like this character because he basically assimilates the abilities of other organisms as part of his like power, but he can
Hell
regenerate
yeah,
from either,
Guyver.
like, his hand or a single cell and make duplicates of himself.
Oh.
So in the comics, he kind of goes out with 3 versions of him and gets the DNA from all these type of creatures in Guyver, and then
Okay.
merges them back into one at the end. So he
Okay.
can constantly change his form.
I actually pulled one from How to Train Your Dragon, which is the Skull Crusher. It has
Ah.
some really cool plating on it, as well as like
Oh.
a really diverse amount of colors. Like it's got these beautiful greens to reds. It kind of reminds me of like kind of like a beetle coloring.
Mhm.
It is kind of
Got
beetle
some cool
colored.
horn shapes and just overall a really fun silhouette to play with.
Alright, who we gonna ask? Oh, hey, yo, Tayron's here. Hey, Beast Summoner, you got a sec? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he's got some big dragons from his world that are kinda like Godzilla, but I don't think he said they was friendly. Yeah, maybe. Hey, real quick, I'll bet
Never
you
know.
$5 that he finds some way to work the word maw, like a big old mouth, into this conversation. What, you want... What? Hello, Mr. Sharp, Dr. McGregor. Can I assist you with something?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
him.
kid, you know what a Godzilla is, right? Like how it's a creature from a bunch of movies in my world and Champagne's world, but in some other worlds there's real monsters? Yes, Kayla has shown me some of the films. I was alarmed at first to see that some of the legendary dragons from my own world are so similar to entertainment from other realms. But
Surprisingly.
I was also able to understand how people could derive joy from watching the stories of these creatures unfold. Right, well, Champ and I is seeing if any of the folks in the group has come across more friendly monsters like Godzilla that could help with taking out not-so-friendly big monsters. You got stuff like that in your world, right? I do indeed have creatures in my world that resemble this Godzilla, though strangely enough, Kayla and I recently came across one in another world that we ventured to.
Ooh.
I believe it was Dimension K146. I was assisting her in tracking a biomech that had been lost in that world, and in our
Okay.
time there we learned of a large protective creature that was somewhat biomechanical itself. The residents of the world called it the Omega God Crusher. It was the child of a creature that was...
Omega God Crusher. That is... I like that name, but it's also got a pinch of ow the edge and just a dash of cringe to it. But still, I'm not shitting on the name. I love it.
somewhat similar in appearance to the film version of Godzilla, though much leaner and with a more extended snout, and whose projectile breath was not nearly as powerful. Oh yeah, and where did it breathe that projectile breath from? Oh, well, from its mouth, as most creatures would. Dang it, so close. Anyway, this God Crusher was the kid of a Godzilla? Yes, I suppose. Its parent was not particularly friendly towards humanity, but it was slain and left behind a child that was raised by a human named Shotatopolis. Despite a name that would suggest otherwise, at least in...
So it's not the Zilla from the movie, it's Zilla from the animated series. That's the Zilla we're going for. Okay, I like.
My own world, he is a broad and stoic Scotsman who trained the creature to be a powerful protector to humanity, which was very much needed as various parts of the world were often under siege by monsters made by a race of aliens that essentially used the planet as a testing ground for their own bioorganic experiments. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. I mean, not so good for the folks there. It's sort of weird to me that some universes we go to seem to have aliens and others don't. Do you think this dimension has got them and they just don't want to hang around with humanity? I mean, could you really blame them for not wanting to?
Not at all.
I bet some universes just ain't got them like tyrants here. Oh, actually, my universe has a planet full of mechanical beings that can transform into various weapons and modes of transportation. Excuse me? Alright, come on, that sounds like a whole other story. Let's just get back to this Godzilla.
You got friggin' Transformers?
Yes, of course. This creature was not actually given its name until after it acquired a piece of technology from the aliens that were sending so many threats to this world. It attached to the creature and enhanced its entire physiology, awakening dormant abilities within it. You see, its own parent had been created by the aliens as well, but when the psychic link to the creature that they used to control it broke, they abandoned it, and it essentially became lost in the number of other creatures they had. When the child of this creature acquired the technology of the aliens, its inherent abilities passed down by its mother were fully awakened, and it became able to spontaneously generate armor around itself, as well as absorb the abilities of other creatures it faced off against. With the creature as empowered as it had become, Sho became like a protector to his entire nation, and arguably even the world, riding the creature into battle against many other extraterrestrial threats. Wow, that does sound pretty cool. Did its fire breath get amped at all when it got this power up? Yes, indeed. Now the flaming atomic breath that it can spew from its maw is far more... When he said the thing, you owe me $5, champ. I literally never agreed to that.
He'd be like, was I a bet to you guys or something? Probably get like a little ticked off. Just a little ticked.
I now interrupt.
Subway
is
now
hold on.
slicing their
Yeah, interrupted by an ad. And we're back.
My own art and the banter that we've got going on in this episode so we can take a look at the awesome submissions that came in for this contest. There were lots more.
Okay, these are actually really cool. Okay, no, not this one. Not this one. This one is no. We would have to slow this down and go and just watch these images over time because that was a lot.
In your average community redraw episode, I would say there were about 430 submissions overall, and it was so tough trying to pick who's won. There were so many cool things that came in.
Damn.
And originally I started going through them, trying to think of, okay, if I can clearly tell what the 3 characters are in this, then that'll help something get picked. Or 3 characters or more, that is. You could have more than 3 characters. It just had to be at least 3 characters fused together.
3 minimum.
And I thought that was a good idea originally so that I could try and see how creatively people blended their characters together and if I could make out distinct elements of each character. But for one thing, I mean, in the PopCross...
Hold on, I saw one that was a Sly Koopa and I think a Ghost Rider one.
Design challenges that I've done, the Spider-Man one and my Ben 10 episode was kind of one. You can't always necessarily tell what characters I used from that just at a glance for one thing, so it's unfair for me to judge people based off that. But also, secondly, and more importantly, I realized pretty early on that a lot of people would be using characters that I haven't necessarily heard of, or even just don't know super well and wouldn't recognize their design at a glance, even if I saw the actual character. So I very quickly stopped using that as a way to judge anyone's submissions, and just went based off of how cool I thought something was, the creativity, the dynamism. I guess I don't even really know exactly what my ranking decision-making scheme was. It was kind of just like, when I saw something, if it really hit me, I was like, okay, this is going in the heavy contenders. And so originally I said I was going to do 3 winners, and there are 3 prime winners that are getting sent PopCross Studios hoodies, but I will reply to the emails that were sent to me with the original submissions to get, like, you know, shipping information and all that. But I also decided that because I wanted there to be more winners, that I would do another set of 7 winners that will be sent access to every single PopCross Studios ink bundle that I've ever made. If one of the winners or some of the winners are in the PopCross Studios Patreon, they already have access to all my ink bundles, so we'll work that out, and I'll send you something that you don't have from being a part of the PopCross Studios Patreon.
boy.
And I guess I can also take this moment so that I don't have to do it at the end to say that the Godzilla posters that I'm making in this actual episode will be up on the PopCross Studios Teespring store as posters. I'll link them in the description, but they'll be pretty
that
low
saves
down
us a
the
bit.
list of description, because there's going to be a lot of links in the descriptions, because I'll link
Good
the
God.
obviously Caitlin McKeegan Dempsey J Illustrations videos that are happening along with this one, and then social media links for everyone that won in today's contest who had a social media link. Some people don't have a place where they post their art online. But anyway, I think it's about time that we get into announcing the actual winners for today's episode.
Please.
The first of the PopCross Studios hoodies is going to Kate.
Okay, hold on. Let me take a guess. So we got The Mask, Luffy, and Ghost Rider? Maybe?
KGB Art Factory. And if you like what you're seeing in this piece, make sure to check out KGB Art Factory's Instagram. It will be linked in the description and pinned comment. And this is a super cool and dynamic and wacky fusion of Gear 5 Luffy mixed with The Mask, mixed with Ghost Rider.
I was
Incredible
right.
stuff, way better traditional artwork than I could do, and I'm very happy to be sending you a hoodie. Our second hoodie is going to
Okay, so it looks like we got a centaur. Oh, no, a specific centaur from Mortal Kombat. I can't remember his name. Doctor Strange, and the Headless Horseman.
Tristle
Not bad.
Crown, who honestly, I saw this
I'll give
piece
that a
and
golf
could
clap.
not tell if it was traditional and painted or digital art, but either way, it is absolutely incredible. So make sure to check out Tristle Crown's Instagram as well if you want to see more awesome stuff like this. And this is a blend of Spawn, the Headless Horseman, and Motaro from Mortal
Spawn.
Kombat. Insanely good job on
That
the
was
horse
close.
body anatomy bits. So cool, and I'm very honored to be sending you a PopCross hoodie. And for the
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna take a guess.
third hoodie, we have got Daniel Side, who goes by Danny K Side Art. Go and check out this Instagram if you like what you're seeing in this image, because I know I absolutely love this. It is an epic
Still
dystopian
cool.
sci-fi sort of image, with the main thrust of the image being a blend of DC's Red Hood mixed with the Lone Ranger from the 1950s TV show and with Genji from Overwatch. So
Oh,
incredibly cool.
that's
The
what it
environment
is.
helps frame the piece so well, and that head and visor is just so crisp. I'm gonna get you your hoodie
Yeah,
as soon as
very
possible.
nice.
And now I'm gonna rapid fire off our equally awesome 7 winners of the PopCross Studios ink bundles, whose social media links will
go
also be
for it.
linked below if they provided one. And first we've got Aiden Clausen, who mixed Garchomp from Pokemon with SCP-682, and Ada Aguafort from Dimension 20. Then Kay
not bad.
Costantino with a mix of Lilo and Stitch with Persona 5 characters and Ben 10 characters as well. Then Nick Ray
not
with
bad.
Nico from League of Legends mixed with Kipo Oak from Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts and Absol from Pokemon. Then Bless
That's
Demat
it.
mixing Null,
Whoa.
the Marvel symbiote, with Arthos from Warcraft, Horus from Warhammer 40k, and She-Spawn from Image Comics. Then
Damn.
Theo Crocs has this awesome space monster mixing Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls with Space Godzilla and SCP-5031, yet another murder monster. Next comes from Tobster1 and is a super
Ooh.
cool blend of Springtrap from FNAF, the Ink Demon from Bendy and the Ink Machine, and Dr. Crankcase from Skylanders.
Dr.
And last
Crankcase.
but definitely
Huh.
not least, we have this super cool image from Invisible Ven, of 3 characters, none of whom I've admittedly heard of before: Green Phoenix from Scissor 7, Leo Fotia from Promare, and Izanagi no Okami from Persona 4. I'll be in contact with
Damn.
all of you to send you PopCross ink
That's-
bundles
that's
or
some damn
something
good
else
shit.
if any of you are on the PopCross Studios Patreon. I forgot to check before recording. But now, back into
Don't
more
worry.
Godzilla Design Challenge. Alright, now you got
Final
one more
one.
for me. What is it?
So the next one I thought would be quite fun would be the fourth angel from Evangelion. The design's kind of simple, but at the same time it's kind of like got that whole core in the center, kind of like a mask or kind of like an armor
Oh,
effect,
shit.
almost skeletal in a kind of appearance. So I thought that'd be quite a fun one.
So I went with one of my favorites from Monster Hunter, which is the Basilgeist or Basil Juice, or there's so many online names
Beetlejuice?
for it. Yeah, Beetlejuice. So this one, it's like a really awesome, like flying, like wyvern-like creature, and
Yeah.
it's has these like, I guess I would call them like almost like grenades along its neck and tail that it drops on its
Basilgeist.
enemies.
That's how I would
They're
pronounce
just
it.
these little like killer pods that drop, but they're really cool when they like glow and light up. They're just the coolest little accessory on this character.
That is
Oh,
pretty
and
damn
Miss
cool.
Celia, we could ask her about Godzilla's too. She's from the same world as they're in, though. Well, yeah, but she's done a bunch of jumping around the multiverse lately looking for magic or whatever she's up to. Maybe she's seen or heard of something. Yeah, alright, that's true.
Oh, most likely.
Hey, silly, get over here for a sec. Hello, friends. It is not Panini Friday today, unless this world's days of week line up differently from what I remember. Nah, you're good. We was just wondering if you've seen any Godzillas. You know, like big old monsters that might look something like this in any of your multiverse traveling. We're looking
Yeah.
for a birthday gift for your boyfriend. This is strange timing for that. Heath's birthday is not until late March. He is clearly an Aries. Besides, how would you give gigantic
they actually
monster as
dating?
gift? Also, his world has far too many gigantic monsters as is. Yeah, but we was thinking we could find him some good ones that could help his world to get rid of some of the worst monsters they got. Ah yes, Heath had similar idea at one point. He and I went looking through other realms for such creatures, but stopped our search after finding many other worlds that had their own troubles with massive monstrous beasts.
Yep,
Did
there
come
it
across
is.
something like this Godzilla
Shame.
you speak of, but was certainly not friendly creature. Was gigantic, skull-headed beasts that looked somewhat similar to the monolithic Shin God from my own world. But this creature could not fly and had strange explosive orbs that emerged from neck and back of tail. It could hurl these off itself and they would explode
Damn.
on impact, causing massive destruction. Well,
That
is
is
there any
epic.
chance the thing had some kind of heel turn and has become a good guy since then? Seems to me like that happens a lot with Godzillas. I suppose I cannot say for certain, but would be quite skeptical in this case. The creature was quite vicious, and last I heard of it, it was incapacitated by a monster hunter who rode gigantic humanoid being that I believed to be armor vehicle creation, like some of the devices used by Heath's
Oh, yeah,
allies in
a
his
mech.
own world to fight monsters. Though someone corrected us and stated that this big human thing was not technically mechanical armor, but was some kind of large being that could be piloted by a hunter. It still confuses me, but what
A
can you
Jaeger?
do? Anyhow, battle with this Godzilla
Eh.
creature was grueling for the hunter, even with big suit, not suit thing. Along with the explosive orbs from neck and tail of creature, it could shoot condensed beam of purple flames from its mouth and even from its back. And also had strange spike in elbow that could grow out farther from arm, then could rapidly thrust back inside to propel its arm forward in near lethal strike. Also, its blood was highly toxic and
It can literally do the big O hydraulic punch. That's awesome.
did not smell very good. You specifically said he incapacitated the thing. Does that mean he didn't kill it? He did not, only
It'd be
managed to
alive.
freeze creature with strange goo shot into its mouth. Though it is believed that will be able to awaken again in the future if it is not maintained in frozen state, as its internal body temperature is constantly attempting to elevate and thaw it out so it can go on rampage once more.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, that probably isn't one we'd want to give to Heath as a present then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no kidding.
never.
And if he's had this idea already, then he's probably already figured out that ain't a smart thing to do. Indeed, the good creatures he found were needed in their own worlds, and the bad ones like this, you obviously would not want in your own world.
Yeah, of course not.
Alright,
Of course
well,
not.
back to the drawing board, I guess. Maybe we could just get him a nice hat. Well, that's a pretty big downgrade from a Godzilla to a hat. What do you have against hats, Dr. Champagne? I think I could use hat myself. Shall we go hat shopping? Hey, like my ma always says, if you ain't got a nice hat, you're a big ugly rat. Oh my god, I actually have heard her say that one.
Oh, Benny. This one was a nice one. And there.
Now, of course, I highly
place.
recommend you go check out Caitlin McKeague's video and Dempsey J Illustration's video if you haven't already. I'm, of course, heavily involved in both of those videos, giving them characters to work with. They give each other more characters to work with, and I give my reactions to their finished artwork in their videos as well. Both are linked in the pinned comment and the description, along, of course, with social media links to the people that won stuff in today's episode. Thank you again hugely to everyone who submitted to this contest. And it is likely that I'll do another one, so don't worry if you didn't win anything this time. Also, if
don't
you're new
worry
to my
about
channel and you enjoyed this, you might like my Godzilla Monsters as Dragons episodes, or maybe my Spider-Man design challenge. But besides that, that's all for today, except of course for ending this video on some kind of positive or inspiring note. And the thought I want to leave people with today is actually just a massive thank you to everyone that's watched and supported this channel over the last 5 years, because 2 days from now is the 5th anniversary of me posting my first PopCross Studios video. Of course, back then the format of the channel is different and things have really evolved over the last 5 years, but this is my absolute dream job. I've been doing it full time for about 4 years now, and that would not be possible without all of you watching and giving me ideas like SCPs or Minecraft or FNAF or anything else that I'd never heard of before or hadn't worked with before.
Hey man, we're thankful just for you being here.
Ideas, and I am just so incredibly grateful for all of you watching and enjoying my work and engaging and submitting things for community redraws. So just massive thank you all so much. And here's to another great 5 years coming up. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next episode on Monday. Goodbye.
And folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.